In this video, we will focus on economic inefficiencies created within our current systems of value exchange. We believe that these inefficiencies are created because the parties exchanging value do not trust each other. This results in the involvement of third parties, and with all parties involved in the exchange keeping and maintaining their own data. The two primary sources of inefficiencies in our current value exchange systems are third parties and proprietary redundant data. Let's elaborate on these and have a look at 7 detailed sources of inefficiencies. So first of all, because value exchange involves third parties, these exchanges can take a lot of time to settle. What do we mean by settling of transactions? We mean that all parties in a value exchange are satisfied that the other party has met their commitments and that they have received the value they were expecting to receive. The time to settle transactions can be days, or in some industries, it can be months. This long settlement time creates uncertainty. This uncertainty creates a lack of productivity. Money gets locked up and cash flow issues arise. Moreover, we expend labor tracking all of these transactions. The second source of inefficiency is the fees we pay to third parties. We don't trust each other, so we involve third parties to give us the trust that we need in the value exchange. These third parties don't do that for free. We pay them fees. And in some cases, these fees can be substantial. And because they are inherently not adding value, they are sucking away productivity. The third source of inefficiency is based on data and is what we call our 3Rs. This comes from the fact that every party in exchange maintains their own data. Because they maintain their own data, they do redundant work. What this means is there are 2 or more parties doing the same work. The only time value is created is when the work was done for the first time. The second time onwards, there is no additional value being created for the entire economy. Another type of data-related inefficiency is what we call rework. It stems directly from redundant work. Because several of us do the same work, we make mistakes. And when we catch these mistakes, we need to fix those mistakes or do rework. This rework adds no value. Now, if we don't catch our mistakes, then we have the third type of data-related inefficiency, reconciliation. For example, one party in an exchange might think they are owed $2 million, while the other party thinks they only owe $500,000. So what they have to do now is get together and reconcile. This reconciliation adds no value. The fourth source of inefficiencies are the constraints imposed by government regulations. Now, we talked about how government regulations are needed so that exchange can be frictionless. But these regulations have unintended consequences. By the way, regulations are not just imposed by the governments. In many cases, there are non-governmental organizations who impose rules that companies voluntarily agree to follow. And these rules also create constraints that impede productivity. The fifth source of inefficiency is directly related to the complexity of our value exchange system. Anytime you have a complex system, there is opportunity for fraud. Unscrupulous entities take advantage of the complexity and devise schemes for fraud. This fraud sucks money out of our productivity engine. The sixth source of inefficiency comes from the trade-off we make in giving up our privacy to participate in the economy for value exchange. And we are doing this without trusting the parties with whom we are trading off our privacy for exchange. And finally, the last source of inefficiency is caused by all these copies of data maintained by all the parties involved in the value exchange. All these sources of data are magnets for hackers and for data breaches. We invest in preventing data breaches because security is not inherently designed into our systems. And invariably, when a data breach happens, we suffer reputational and economic loss. So you've seen a very detailed view of productivity opportunities or inefficiencies in our economy that our current systems have not yet mitigated. And we believe blockchain has an opportunity to mitigate these inefficiencies.